Think of the modern Batman silhouette. It is one of the most recognizable, perfectly engineered character designs in fiction today. The imposing cape, the heavy tactical armor, and those sharp ears cutting through the Gotham skyline. But that flawless image is a lie. When Bruce Wayne actually debuted in May 1939, he looked completely different. He wore a pair of stiff, bat-like wings, a simple domino mask, and, strangest of all, a pair of bright, plum-purple gloves. The dark, tactical armor we know today was not carefully planned out by a single visionary. It was cobbled together over decades by copyright lawyers, the limits of industrial printing presses, and desperate attempts to escape the campy reputation of 1960s television. To understand The Dark Knight, we have to tear that iconic suit apart piece by piece, revealing the real-world constraints that engineered his design. We will start with the colors. For decades, the definitive look for the Caped Crusader was a bright blue and gray color scheme. Creators Bob Kane and Bill Finger originally drew a costume meant for optimum stealth, pairing a muted gray bodysuit with pitch-black accessories. The 1940s industrial letterpresses struggled to print large black areas without muddying the linework. Colorists used dark blue highlights to represent light reflecting off those black surfaces. Over time, that highlight expanded until readers interpreted the cape as entirely blue. By the late 1960s and into the 70s, artist Neil Adams formalized this printing quirk. He deliberately designed a lithe, muscular Batman clothed firmly in a distinct blue and gray suit. The character's most recognizable color palette is a victory of mechanical necessity, completely overriding the dark intentions of his creators. Next, look at the chest. In 1964, a massive, bright yellow oval appeared directly behind the Bat logo. Logically, this makes zero sense. A vigilante trying to hide in the shadows has no business wearing a high-contrast bullseye over his vital organs. DC Comics prepared a massive merchandising push for the television series, needing a distinctive trademark. A plain black bat was too generic to protect in court. Dropping it inside a bright yellow oval created a secure graphic to stamp on lunchboxes and action figures. Years later, comic writers tried to explain this away by claiming the yellow oval was heavily reinforced armor designed to draw enemy fire away from Bruce Wayne's unprotected head. But that was a retroactive excuse. The emblem operated as a corporate shield first, securing the character as a legal product long before it ever deflected a fictional bullet. And speaking of protection, for the first 50 years of his existence, Bruce Wayne essentially wore a cloth gymnast's uniform. As Frank Miller pushed comics into a darker, violent direction in the 1980s, watching a man survive machine gun fire and spandex strained all belief. The breaking point arrived with the 1993 Nightfall storyline. Bruce Wayne faced a brutal new class of criminal, and his lightweight suit offered zero defense when his spine was physically broken. To survive this narrative escalation, the suit itself had to evolve. When Bruce returned, the cloth was permanently replaced by Kevlar and rigid metallic plating. The heavy tactical gear was a direct response to an arms race of escalating violence in 1990s comic books. Modern designers still struggle to reconcile these conflicting legal, technical, and narrative demands into a single uniform. Look at the new 52 redesign from the early 2010s. Artists layered the suit with a complex network of seams to make it feel grounded and cinematic, while finally ditching the yellow oval to return to a stark, plain black logo. Or consider the 2024 debut of Absolute Batman. Here, the chest emblem is a massive, rectangular block of metal that actually detaches to serve as a brutal hand-to-hand combat axe. This takes the corporate necessity of a recognizable trademark and physically fuses it with the narrative necessity of extreme violence. The Batsuit operates as a historical document, recording exactly how a pop culture icon forces itself to adapt to the rules of the real world. From the accidental blue dye of a printing press to a legal trademark masquerading as bulletproof armor, every stitch and color choice tells the story of an icon